Signing in is Mr. Tertius for today's reading, July 24th and 2017. So here, Paul encourages passengers. Number one, the fast of the day and the anointment about September 15th. Navigation was considered dangerous after the middle of September. So 3:58 talks about drifting towards unknown shores, and good example encourages others. So yesterday, I was being a good example, going towards a Jewish Mosaic church, Jewish church temple that I wasn't familiar with, Persian Jewish, but they talked about reaching out to other people, and getting to be a good example. Exactly what's going on right now. So let's start off with the readings, and it's Acts 27, 21, 29. So Acts 27, 21, 29. Okay. It was then, when they had gone along a time without eating, that Shaul stood up in front of them and said, "You should have listened to me, and not set out from Crete. If you had, you would have escaped this disastrous loss. But now my advice to you is to take heart, because not one of you will lose his life. Only the ship will be lost. For this very night there stood next to me an angel of the God to whom I belong and I serve. I said, 'Don't be afraid, Shaul. You have to stand.'" Uh, before the emperor, "Look, God has granted you all those who are sailing with you. So, men, take heart, for I trust God and believe that what I have been told will become true. Nevertheless, we have to run around on some island." This was the 14th night, and we were still being driven about in the Adriatic Sea, when around midnight the sailors sensed that we were nearing land. So they dropped a plumb line and found the water 120 feet deep. 20 feet deep, and a little farther on they took another sound and found it 90 feet. Fearing we might run on the rocks, they let our four anchors from the stern and prayed for daylight to come. Okay, so there. So 27, 33 through 38. 33 through 38. Just before daybreak, urged them all to eat, saying, "Today is 14th day, and you have been in suspense, going hungry, eating nothing. Therefore, I advise you to take some food. You need it for your own survival. For not one of you will lose so much as a hair from his head." When he had said this, he took beer, said the Barakaham to God in front of everyone, broke it, and began to eat. With courage restored, they all ate some food themselves. Although there were 276 of us on board the ship, after they had eaten all they wanted, they lightened the ship by dumping the grain into the sea. When day broke, they didn't recognize the land, but they noticed a bay with a sand beach. They were decided to run the ship aground if they could. 13. So that concludes today's reading, and we'll look forward to doing 25 tomorrow. And it will say anchors on an unknown shore. On anchors on unknown shore. So how we would apply this is that um, in our lives, in many ways. So just it's like doing your part. What they said, you repent and you replace with your deeds. So that's a form of just like dumping the things that you don't need and eating the good and taking in the good and growing from it. That concludes today's reading. That's truly yours, Mr. Tricio, signing off.